This video is for all the people on the edge of frustration about to quit. And my plea to you is don't do it. It's not worth it. Jiu-Jitsu is an incredible vehicle for change. I've grown so much through this art. It's been unbelievable. When I started, I was 22 years old. I just graduated college and I was a boy. And I came out into the real world expecting to feel different for having graduated, for getting a real job. And nothing changed. And I realized that my culture did not offer a true rite of passage, something that moved me psychologically from boyhood to manhood. And I certainly wasn't ready to be a father. So I needed to create an environment and find an environment that was going to do it for me. And that's what jiu-jitsu was. It was something difficult enough that involved so much purposeful suffering and so much development and sacrifice that it gave me the maturity that my everyday life and culture did not. And that's what it was for me. And I can't imagine what I'd be without it, because I'd probably be, Peter Pan and the Lost Boys. I'd be a 32-year-old boy right now, were it not for the experiences I had on the mat and in competition and through teaching and through opening up my own academy. It's been one of the best things I've ever done. And I fully understand the desire to quit, right? Because jiu-jitsu is so cognitively demanding. It's so challenging. You always feel like you don't know what's happening. You're always at a loss. You're always failing. You're always making a mistake. But the problem is that that's just how it goes. That's what skill acquisition is. It's not unique to jiu-jitsu. That's how it works. You play the role of the fool, and then you become the master. You funnel yourself into a discipline, you make all the mistakes you can, and you come out on the other side better and bigger for having done so. Our culture does not value failing. We think it's bad to fail. We think you're a failure if you fail. You are a failure if you're not failing. The only way to grow is to make as many mistakes as you can, but make them once, learn from them, incorporate them into your being, and move forward from there. Stand on the foundation of what you once were so you can become what you might be. That's what jiu-jitsu has been for me. Now, if you're quitting because your body hurts, I get it. Jiu-jitsu breaks you down. It happens. But I would ask you to ask yourself, are you doing all the things you can do to mitigate that? Are you foam rolling? Are you stretching? Are you training properly at a 70% rate of perceived exertion? Are you doing the proper recovery work and nutrition? Are you being a steward of your health and your body? Are you using your body in service of your soul? And if you're doing all those things and your body hurts and you can't train, maybe it's not for you. But I found that there's usually so many things we could be doing that we're not, that if we did, we'd have a much better experience. Now, maybe you're quitting, so we addressed, you feel like you're not getting better. Well, that's part of it. You show up, you suffer, it gets better, it gets more fun. You get a new tool every time you come in, and eventually you stop getting whooped and you start doing the whooping. And that's when it gets fun. And you have to hold on till you get to that point. And we address the body. And maybe you're quitting because you don't have enough time. Maybe it's just, I've got my wife, my kids, my business. I just don't have time to come in and train. And maybe that's so. But when you think about quitting, I think it's important to think about why you started. What was the goal that brought you in? And to think about how that goal lies in the context of your hierarchy of values. Is jiu-jitsu going to be a vehicle for the development that your being requires, that you need? And if it is, and you're not going to replace it with something else, and you're going to put that goal aside, well, if that goal is worth pursuing, then stay on the mat. Find a way to make it work. Budget your time better, make the sacrifices you need. We all probably watch too much TV, spend too much time on Instagram. A lot of us still play video games. You can put that stuff aside and pick up something more beneficial, more worthwhile. I think the pursuit of efficiency is really this limitless pursuit where, at least in my own life, I'm doing more than I've ever done, and yet I'm so aware of how little I'm actually doing. And yet 5 years ago, I thought I was maxed out. But you do something that's difficult, you grow a little bit stronger in carrying that burden, and now you can handle more. And that's something jiu-jitsu has taught me, is that we can always handle more. We can always be more. And I haven't found an environment in modern culture that has facilitated my growth like jiu-jitsu has. And I think that holds true for a lot of people, for most people, because it works on the whole of our humanity. It works on us physically, mentally, spiritually, certainly emotionally. Most guys come in just to de-stress from the day, and they use this as a way to return to equilibrium, where now they can be a good father or a good husband. That's what jiu-jitsu is. And there are so many good reasons to quit. I get it. But there are so many better reasons to stay. And if you came in for a good reason, you should probably stay. You should probably keep going. Your life will be better for it. I mean, we had a really cool example of this where about a year ago, two of the parents of our kids started training, and they both took a class. They were both hesitant to do so. They both did great, and the one kept going and the one didn't. And the one that kept going lost about 50 pounds in the year. Now, the great part is the one that stopped training is now back, and he's getting after it, and he's losing weight, and he looks amazing. He's happier. He's glowing, and that's awesome. And I bet you he wishes he didn't quit a year ago, but he didn't quit. He just needed that hiatus between the initial class and the second class. But I would encourage you, if you are going to quit, really think about it. Think rationally. Draw a list, pros and cons. Talk to other people. Talk to other people who have quit jiu-jitsu. Talk to the people around you. Have you noticed a difference in me since I started training? Because they probably have. And if you clearly articulate why you're training in the first place, you're much more inclined to stay. And I've never met anybody who regrets their time in jiu-jitsu. It gives you too much. And yeah, you sacrifice a lot, but you get so much more in return. So I implore you not to quit. I think each of us needs to aim up and become more so we can be a better person for those around us. We're all nodes in a network. And it's that George Bailey effect. You have an effect on the world that you can't really see, but it's there. And you have to have faith that the more I become, the more I'm going to give, and the better the world will be. And that's what drives me. I'm constantly looking to acquire more stress and more purposeful loads that are going to allow me to be stronger so I can give more. And every time I do, I feel better. And I never regret it. And it's painful in the moment, but the product is always worth it. And jiu-jitsu is like that. The class is difficult, but you're always so glad you train when you drive home. So if you're going to quit, please reassess. Think it over. Make sure you're quitting for the right reasons. And I find that when it's something as valuable as jiu-jitsu, there aren't a lot of valid reasons. So mull it over. Please stick with it. Reach out to us. I love to talk to you. But don't quit. You can get so much out of this thing. Just keep going forward. Good luck. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I love jiu-jitsu and I want to spend my life serving others through this medium. If you found these videos worthwhile, please subscribe to the page, like, comment, let us know how we're doing. My goal is that the more we all use jiu-jitsu to mold ourselves on the mat, the better our lives will be off the mat. And then we can be a positive impact on the lives of those around us. So subscribe to this channel if you found it valuable. We're going to put a ton of stuff out here, and we hope it's worthy of your time.